Hey everybody, hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday. I just wanted to give you an update on my Cory / neon tetra / cherry shrimp tank. Here's how it's looking. I did take this filter apart that I got and it worked for like a couple seconds and then it stopped. So I don't know if there's just something wrong with the motor or what's going on, but I took out the propeller and cleaned it, and yeah, it worked for like a little bit and then it just stopped. So I think I just got a really bad filter. It was really cheap off of Amazon, so I wasn't expecting like too much from it anyway. So I am on the lookout for a new filter. So I don't know if I want to try like another hang on the back filter. This one was just like the Tetra Whisper IQ filter, and it was really quiet and it was really powerful when it did work. I think I'll still play around with it too, but I do just want something that's reliable, that doesn't get clogged all the time, and that works. One of the components like at the bottom, that in here, that big block area that holds the propeller and everything in place, is really poorly made, and it's just made of plastic, and one of the little things that holds it into place fell off when I was messing with it. So I just want something a little bit better quality that's more reliable. This might be a good backup filter if I can, you know, play around with it some more and have time to do that. I just don't have a lot of time to mess with it right now. But the fish love the hanging out. I mean, not the fish, but the shrimp love hanging out on the little sponge filter intake portion of it, so I'm just keeping that in there for now. Yeah, I don't know if I want to just put a sponge filter in here, because I don't know if you can tell, but the water is a little bit on the murky side since I took that filter out and I did a water change. They are due for another gravel vac kind of change. I do want to figure out like how I can make the Java moss a little bit more presentable. Like, it looks really cool, don't get me wrong, and it's really taken off in there. Like that Java moss, I actually did cut back some of it too that was growing out in the back side that you can't really see. I did cut some of that back and put it in my cherry shrimp tank, just my 10-gallon cherry shrimp tank, because it's so out of control. And I think what I'm gonna do is probably put some of this in with Bubbles and some of this in Panini's tank, because it's doing so well. But something else I wanted to show you guys was that I did get 2 more neon tetras. The one right there that's chasing the others around is one of the new ones that I got. And then this little one, it's like the smallest one right there that's not as bright, is also a new one. So the 2 that I got, I actually posted in a local Facebook group, fish group, that I was getting rid of some of my cherry shrimp because they're doing really well. And I just have like millions in this Java moss. I don't know if you guys can see them, but I got babies just sprinkled everywhere in here. There's one there. They're everywhere. So I thought, hey, why don't I just sell some of those guys off and then put in the money that I get from them for like a new filter, or, you know, make improvements with my tanks and for my pond stuff, because I'm trying to fund that. So anyway, she ended up wanting some cherry shrimp from me, so I sold them to her, and she also said, hey, I've got like 2 neon tetras that I don't want. I'll just give those to you for free. And I'm like, are you sure? We could just do like a trade instead. I feel bad because she was also driving like a really long distance to pick up the cherry shrimp, like almost a 2-hour drive. So I felt bad. I'm like, hey, we can just do a trade if you want, and I'll take your neon tetras and I'll give you the cherry shrimp and we can just call it a deal. But she's like, no, I insist. I'm gonna pay you and I'll give you my 2 neon tetras that I don't want. And I'm like, okay. And it worked out, because you know that if you watched my other videos on this tank, I was wanting to get more neon tetras. So it worked out nicely. So now I have a total of 6 neons in there. I might even want to add 2 more and do 8 of them. I'm thinking about eventually trying to breed them. And I still want to breed my cories again. I'll probably add a couple more peppered cories. So ultimately I have a couple breeding projects that I want to do. I want to breed them all out and see what I can produce with them. Might try and sell some of their offspring, might keep some. It's just fun to do those little breeding projects. That's kind of like the next step for a lot of people in the fish hobby, is they'll try and breed out whatever fish that they have. It's just fun to try and do that. Anyway, so yeah, everyone's doing really well except for the newer fish that I got. The one keeps chasing the others, and I'm not sure. I'm doing more research into neon tetras too, because I am wanting to breed them out eventually, so I want to know what their behavior is. I want to know what the ideal setup is for them to create those breeding conditions. For the cories, it's pretty easy to breed them. The peppered cories, all you need to do really is load them up with all different kinds of food. I do a lot of frozen food just because the live food is not easily accessible in my area, and that's another project I want to start, is breeding like brine shrimp and daphnia, because I think live food for these fish is probably the best nutrition wise. It provides enrichment for them and it mirrors what they would get in the wild. I know my guppies that I put in the pond had it looked like they were really enjoying themselves, going after the mosquito larvae in there, and I don't have any mosquito larvae in the pond. They ate them all up, so they do a really good job of that. I think these guys would enjoy it too, chasing after some live food, some daphnia, some brine shrimp. But yeah, as you can see right now, we have some like chasing behavior, bullying behavior, and I know the neon tetras are already they're supposed to be peaceful fish, but they're kind of semi-aggressive, I'm finding, and it's almost like they want to establish a pecking order. If you guys keep neon tetras, they're such a common fish in the hobby to keep. If you have any observations that you've made, any ideal ways to keep them, or anything that I can improve in this tank, let me know. I do have some things that I want to improve that I think will help lessen the opportunity they have to bully each other, and that is just by putting some more plants in my tank. I wanted this tank to be more on the heavy side, heavier planted tank. So I was thinking about getting some of the pennywort that I got from the pond and putting some of that in here. I really like the look of it, and I think it would be pretty cool in here. Or I do have like my cart loaded up at Boost Plants. I don't know if you guys have heard of that website, and Aquarium Co-op, of course. I have my cart loaded up for different grasses that I want to try and grow. The thing about that is all of my tanks are low tech, and I've always had low tech tanks because I'm poor and that's all I can do. But I want to try CO2, and I think with the grasses in particular, when you're trying to do those in your tank, in order for them to do really well, it does require that you have CO2. I did try at one point like little hair grass in my guppy tank, and I think the lighting I had in that tank was just really poor because it grew a little bit, but that tank ended up having the black hair algae just like taking over. I kind of didn't do anything with the tank, and the guppies, like the breeding got out of control. It got overcrowded, which created more waste, and then that created more of the black hair algae, and it was just a nightmare to get rid of. I tried to get rid of the black hair algae so many times, but it was out of control at that point. So no matter how many plants I tried to treat, it just kept coming back, and it was everywhere in that tank. So I basically just had to scrap that tank completely and then start over. And so yeah, that's the tank that had the little hair grass in there, and So I think it'd be cool because I did want to do like a beachy vibe in this tank, and I wanted like the driftwood and grasses and everything so that it reminds me of like a beach kind of vibe. And you just don't get that with the Java moss. Like the Java moss looks cool and it's really good for the shrimp. It provides like a lot of hiding areas, but it just isn't the right, like, what I wanted to go for in this particular tank. So I might have to just put that in another tank. And I think it would be ideal for like the shrimp only tank that I have in my living room. I'll probably end up upgrading my shrimp only tank as well. If people want to continue buying the cherry shrimp from me, I think I'll just keep them breeding and keep selling them if it does well. But yeah, so I did acquire 2 more of the neon tetras from the lady that got the cherry shrimp from me. And the filter's broken, and so I want to clean that up, clean up the Java moss, and I just wanted to give you all an update on that. I haven't really had a lot of time to fix the filter out in the pond, and I have so much homework, like I don't even have time to really do this video right now, but yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm just gonna cut it off there, and I just wanted to show you guys what was going on with that. But yeah, I think I will add some more plants in here, and hopefully that will detract the fish because they have such an open space right now to go after each other. I think adding more plants that are taller will limit that opportunity they have to bully each other and provide more hiding areas for them. So kind of just break up their line of sight to go after one another. So that's the plan there. I'll probably shut off the lights here too because I know when it's darker they tend to be a little bit more on the calmer side. If the lights are up, it's the daytime and they're more active. So that's another trick that I learned just being in the fish hobby, is that turning off the lights if your fish are being aggressive towards one another can help alleviate that. And then also adding more hiding spots, breaking up the line that they have in the tank with taller plants so that they have more hiding spots, and everything is good too. Because they have so much room, it makes sense that they're just, you know, they're going after each other. That's what they're doing. Or it could be breeding behavior. I'm not sure. I still have to look into that. If you guys know, let me know. Or if any of you have successfully bred neon tetras, let me know, because I know they're pretty difficult to breed. It's a whole project. So that's what makes me think it's kind of just bullying behavior and not breeding behavior. Unless they want to breed, then that could be it could be breeding behavior. But all right, I need to do a water change on this tank, a little gravel vac, and figure out the filter. I do have some backup, just I do have backup sponge filters. So I'll probably throw one of those in there, and that'll clear up the cloudiness of the water. But other than that, I hope y'all are having a great day. Stay on the lookout for more of my videos because I'm planning on doing some pond updates soon. And I'm also going to give an update on my mealworms if you're interested to see how my mealworm farm is coming. I have in the works, I want to start a worm farm indoors. Yeah, got a lot of projects that I want to do. So take care. Hope you're all taking care of your pets, and I will see you in the next one.